Hello again. Ever wondered where some of our old aircrafts end up after its use-by date? Well, we have some touching pictures today of our national carrier's old and retired Boeing 747 aircraft. Seen here, the aircraft is now resting in peace, or rather in pieces, at an aviation graveyard of sorts in the United States. As these pictures show, after chalking up millions of miles in the air, the former Boeing 747 aircraft was officially retired in June earlier this year. Our national carrier also retired its second Boeing 747 a month ago, which had done over 100,000 hours of flight time and just under 16,000 landings. In these pictures now circulating on social media, the former aircraft, which was retired first, can be seen cut up and lying at a landfill. Hundreds of airline staff members had farewelled the aircraft during its retirement. These planes have since been replaced by its brand new flagship aircraft, the A330 aircraft. The Suva High Court today has granted bail to Mahendra Pal Chaudhry. This is to allow him to travel to Sydney early this next year. Bail has been granted for Chaudhry to travel to Sydney from the 1st to the 31st of January. Chaudhry's passport is currently held with the court registry. He has been asked to collect his passport on the 23rd of this month and to return it to the registry by 4 p.m. on the 3rd of February 2014. While granting the bail application, Justice Paul Madigan noted that Chaudhry had always honoured and adhered to his bail conditions in his previous applications. Indonesia's outgoing ambassador to Fiji, Chandra Salim, today received official recognition from the state. Ambassador Salim was awarded the Honorary Office of the Order of Fiji. This award is normally accorded to non-citizens, foreign dignitaries and diplomats. President Ratu Epeli Nailatikau awarded the Order of Fiji to Ambassador Salim at Government House this afternoon. Since his posting to Fiji, Ambassador Salim has helped attract a large number of potential investors here, while at the same time generating interest in specific areas such as aquaculture, agriculture, as well as art and craft. Commissioner Western Commander Choeli Thawaki says the $5 million allocation announced by government will help empower those living in informal settlements in the division. Thawaki says to date his office is looking at avenues on where to relocate some of these informal settlements.
It is the living conditions like this that has got the Commissioner Western scurrying to ensure informal settlements in his division are well catered for in the Prime Minister's $5 million budget allocation announced last November.
With the provision of $5 million next year by government is the start of looking at stopping migration of people and also giving people affordable homes for them to be able to prosper and live.
Thawaki says they have refrained from building proper homes in the informal settlements after the devastation of Tropical Cyclone Evan for a reason. He says this is why they will be looking more diligently in the coming year on areas these informal settlements can be assisted in a legal manner.
It has happened before when we build new homes for these quarter settlements, the landowners took over. We don't want to repeat those circumstances. But we build homes for people to live and have a better life.
Thawaki says apart from this, formal housing settlements that were destroyed during Tropical Cyclone Evan last year have been well looked after and the rehab and rebuilding phase is well underway.
Definitely will roll over to next year. As I said, the two constraints, I would not call it the constraints, but our limitation at the moment is to be able to have the fund, and the major limitation is the amount of building materials available locally to be able to implement.
Madhyam Baletamana, Fiji One News.
The Agriculture Ministry is currently working closely with cocoa farmers in its bid to revive the industry. About 150 growers and interested farmers gathered at Namau village in Tailevu last week to discuss ways to revive the industry. Government has allocated $300,000 for cocoa development in its 2014 budget.
Program as well, we are buying fertilizer to distribute to the existing cocoa farmers who have revitalized their cocoa projects, and we have distributed chainsaws, all those kind of sort that help the farmers to be able to clean up the existing cocoa plantation.
The ministry will continue to work with farmers and has set up a cocoa mobile team, which will work closely with growers to ensure that production increases to meet the growing market demand. Some of the reasons attributed to the downfall of the industry was the unavailability of markets and the outbreak of pests and diseases.
We've got a cocoa mobile team in action now, and we'll be visiting your cocoa. When you request for us to come in and assist in your cleaning, the mobile team are there to come in and help to revitalize or to clean up your cocoa plantation. And the price is there. The price of cocoa now is $5 a kilo, dry, so there's no problem with the market.
The festive cheer is already slowly spreading along our popular Coral Coast. Over the weekend, tourists on Yanuda Island at the Shangri-La Fijian Resort and Spa were treated to exactly that. On hand to do the honors was someone who did the nation proud not too long ago, Paralympic gold medalist Eliasa Delana. Tourists were also treated to Christmas carols from a neighboring village choir. The resort's general manager Michael Monks says who better to light up their festive celebrations than a person whose gold medal performance helped lit up a nation with hope and inspiration.
At this time of Christmas, I ask you all to think of what's happening around the world and the torn strife that there is, and remember that it is a time of peace, it is a time of loving, a time of hope and of families.
Delana also proved to be a hit with tourists as he later lit up the resort's Christmas tree.
It is a time to reflect on the many blessings of the year coming to a close and to lay plans for the year ahead. It is also a time for family and loved ones.
We have the latest news from around the Pacific up next. Stay with us.